All you need to speak a language is to start with just 3 steps.
Speak English. Hindi में बात करो. Шуачунвэн. Habla español. Говорить по-русски. Качуй.
Okay, so step number 1, learn the various forms of greetings and stick to the easy ones. So, good morning, bonjour, 早上好, marching. Learn the various forms of greetings and stick to the easy ones or the ones you can remember. It may not be difficult, but you may find it difficult starting. So just look for the easier ones and stick to 1 or 2 of them. So in English, we have good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Similar in French, but mostly for French, you can just say bonjour any time of the day and you're okay to go. 早上好, marching. And then you learn their responses as well. Usually you just have to repeat the greeting to the person and you're done. Also, find out how to say things like, what's your name? How are you doing? Comment tu t'appelles? Your friend was saying, so in response to what's your name and how are you, you need to find your answers as well. So whoever you're learning from, wherever you're learning from, try and source it out. I'm fine. What I'm into sure, or just say watch out, Kwame. Step number 2, you need to learn to talk about your language experience, because when you begin early conversations, people are going to ask you, how long have you been learning? Oh, do you speak English? Oh, do you speak French? Tu parles français? Habla español? And then you should also know how to respond if you are asked the same questions. So, do you speak French? Tu parles français? Oui, je parle français. Oui, je parle un peu. 你说中文吗? 我会说一点, I speak a little. You can spice it up by saying something like, oh, je suis en train d'apprendre. I'm learning. Or I'm still learning. Now, tip number 3. So, tip number 3 is all about your nationality. Because when you finish greeting and they ask you, how are you? How long have you been learning? The next thing you are most likely to be asked is, where do you come from? And you should be able to answer that. So in your case, when you want to do the asking, tu viens d'où? Or d'où viens-tu? You know, in French, usually you can turn around the sentence. So, d'où viens-tu? Or tu viens d'où? 你是哪国人? In Chinese, what nationality are you, or what country do you come from? Où free hen? In Cree, où free hen? Où free hen fa? Or où free Kurobenzo? And right after the question, you know what follows, how to answer the question. Je suis Ghanéen. Or je viens de la France. Je viens du Ghana. Whatever your country is, just try and find out how it is said and how your country is called. In languages, your countries usually don't change, but how it's pronounced could be different. So, je viens des États-Unis, je viens du Ghana, je viens d'Allemagne. So those are the 3 tips you need to cover when you begin learning a language. The whole dynamics of learning languages is based on how to say principles. So whatever you need to say, you need to find out how it is said. You know, language is not like mathematics where you can work something out and get it right to use. You can't just sit and say, you can't formulate something that is not a standard. Some people may understand you, obviously, but it may not make sense. So the best thing is to find out how it is said. So you ask someone who speaks already. How do you say I want to eat? Voyons, chiffon. Je peux me didi. Je veux manger. How do you say this? How do you say that? When you're able to get your how to say is right, your pronunciation will be good and your vocabulary will be rich. Your phrases will be on point. You will not be scared to speak whenever you have to, because obviously you're saying the right thing. So after covering the basics, which is the 3 tips I've just outlined, whatever you learn next depends in the context or in your environment. So for instance, at your workplace, you may need to start learning things like, oh, where are you? Where did you put the file? Where can I see you? I'm in a meeting. And you have to learn accordingly, phrase by phrase, depending on wherever you are. If you're going to the beach, then a few things about the beach, a few phrases to use when you get there. And by that, you'll be building your French, you'll be building your language, whatever language you're trying to learn, you'll be building it phrase by phrase as we do on this channel. So if you have any questions or comments, you can put them down in the comment section. I'll be glad to go through them. If you're learning French, check out my playlist on speaking French. It's going to help you a lot as you learn. Also, follow my playlist on Hindi. I've begun learning Hindi with the exact methods that I'm teaching you on this channel. So follow the playlist as well on speaking Hindi to get all the insights and the tips and the tricks and how I go about learning the Hindi language. All the playlist links are right below the video description. Also, don't forget to click the bell notification down here near the subscribe button to get all the latest updates I bring on the channel. So until we meet again, thank you for watching.